Hi, I am going to be showing you how to use Power BI to build a sales dashboard off of Dynamics NAV. I'm going to be using the Cronus company as the data set. So to begin, I'm in the process of importing different tables that I'll be using to build my sales dashboards with. So to start, I'm importing the sales lines table. And next, customers, countries are where the customers are from, items, and lastly, the different dimension values. So in particular, I'll be reporting on the area, customer group, as well as salesperson. So I'm going to import these 5 tables. And my next step will be to establish the relationships between the 5 different tables. And that will allow me to then run queries and pull data from the different tables. So in the relationships section here, I'm going to establish the connection between all the different tables. It's all going to be revolving around the sales line table here. So I'm going to connect the sales line table to the dimensions table here through the document number. Next, I'm going to add the items table and link it based on the item number in the sales line table. And then customers. Then lastly, I'm going to link the countries table based on the country region code in the customers table. Once that's established, I am going to go into my data set and I'm going to modify some of the different fields here. So in the sales line table, I'm going to change the amount column. So at the moment when I imported this, Power BI recognized it as a text field. So that of course needs to be changed to a decimal number. Next, I'm also going to change the currency format of that to US. And next, I'm going to go into the countries table. And I'm going to update the name column here so that the data category will be set to country region. So now I'm ready to build my report. So I'm going to go into the report section and I'm going to add my first data visualization here. So first I want to report sales by the dimension value area. So I want to represent that as a vertical bar chart. I'm going to go into my dimensions table here and I'm going to grab the area and I'm going to add that to the x-axis. Then I'm going to go to the sales line table and pull the amount and add that into the value field here. And right away we have our first chart. Next I want to report on sales by salesperson. And I'm going to represent that as a pie chart. In the dimensions table, I'm going to add the salesperson and amount field. And I have my pie chart here. Next, I want to report on sales by country. So I'm going to add the map here. I'm going to expand that a little bit. And I'm going to add the list of countries into the location field. And then I'm going to add the amount field and drag that into the size field here. Adding the amount into the size field here, what that does is that the bigger the circle represents the greater revenue that we sold into that particular country. As you can see, the difference between Iceland and the US. To make that distinction a little bit easier to read, I'm also going to add the amount field into the color saturation here. So depending on the amount of sales, the lighter it is, the less sales we have, and then the darker the color, the more sales that we've sold into that particular country. I'm going to change the formatting a little bit just to make it easier to read. So in the data color section, I'm going to enable divergence so that we're able to see a change in the color scheme. And I'm going to have yellow as the minimum and then red as the max sales that we've done per country. I'm also going to enable the category label to make it easier to read what each of the countries are. Next, I want to report sales by items, and I'm going to represent that as a tree map. I'm going to go into my items table and add the descriptions field. And then I'm going to add my amount. And quickly, I'm just going to enable the data labels here to make it easier to read what the total sales are per item. Lastly, I'm going to report on sales by the customers, and I'm going to use a horizontal bar chart for that. In the customers table, I'm going to add the name to the y-axis, an amount to the x-axis. I'm going to quickly format this, and I'm going to sort it by top selling customers to downwards. And to make it a little bit easier to read, I'm also going to enable the data labels. So in just a matter of about 5 minutes, we've built our first sales dashboard. But before we're able to share this with our colleagues and also view this on our mobile devices, we will need to publish this to our Power BI app in our Office 365 account. So I'm going to save a copy of this dashboard first onto my hard drive. And while it's doing this, it's going to be then publishing this to our Power BI app. And once that's done, we're going to navigate to it, and then we'll do some quick analysis on the data that we have here. So now that the report has been published, we can do a little bit of filtering. So for example, if I want to filter down to all of the sales within the non-EU customer or area group, I can click on that, and it's quickly going to filter down to the to all the sales that we've done within this area. Likewise, I can also filter down to John Roberts and see all the different areas that he sold to. So once I'm happy with this dashboard, I can then pin it, and that will then send it to the dashboard section. And from here, I'm going to be able to then share it with some of my other colleagues, as well as then subscribe to this and get daily updates on this sales dashboard. So for example, if I want to share this with myself, for example, I can just enter my email address and then send it. So this concludes how to build your own sales dashboard using Power BI for Dynamics NAV. Hopefully this shows you just how quick and easy it is to use Power BI. I want to thank you for your time, and hopefully you enjoyed this demo. Thank you. Bye.